All right, all right. Good morning, everybody. We get started. Welcome to our early morning crypto talk. This time is going on YouTube. Facebook's not allowing us to connect, so that's okay. Backup is always YouTube. We'll be getting started in just one moment here. Getting started in just one moment here. Getting started in just one moment here. There we go. All right, as a disclaimer, I'm not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I read the news, give my opinion, share a suggestion, and it is up to you to make an informed, intelligent decision on which direction you want to move into. All right, as a disclaimer, I see Court Gomes. Good morning. Check, check. I don't know who that is, but what's happening? Tony Pinkston from Philly. Good morning. All right, I have not done a crypto talk in about a week. So let's see what's going on with the market cap. Right now, we've got coin market cap is at 263 billion. It is down 1.2% over the last 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance is still below 64% since last time I saw it. Ethereum seems to have gone up, looks like 9.61%. So Bitcoin has dropped to 9,098. It is about flatline right now, but down 1.9% over the last 7 days. Cardano is up 19% over the last 7 days. Whoa, what happened there? Bitcoin SV is down 10%. Crypto.com coin is up 7.4%. Tezos is down 11%. So last 7 days, best performers. Kyber Network, 55.2%. Kusama, 40.2%. Celsius Network, Synthetic Token, Elrond. But Cardano's the one that got my attention there. VeChain, Ox, Thorchain. Verge is up 13.2%. Augur, Aave. Even Tron's up 5%. Okay, who's the worst performers? Balancer is down 33.4%. Compound, of course, it's down 23.4%. Swissborg, 20.1%. The tokenized exchange, Nano, Komodo, Algorand, Hive, Tezos, Ontology, Bitcoin SV. All right, so not too much anything alarming. It says I'm surprised about Compound. It's down 23.4% last 7 days. Okay, let's take a look at some of the news. Former Goldman Sachs exec says Bitcoin's $1 million upside annihilates traditional investment opportunities. Raul Paul, the CEO of the global macro investor and former Goldman Sachs fund manager, thinks Bitcoin is the call option on global central bank uncertainty. And he says hedge funds are noticing. Powell recently joined Galaxy Digital CEO Mike Novogratz on the Unchained podcast to discuss Bitcoin's role amidst all of the global economic issues caused by the coronavirus pandemic and various government responses to it. Powell says, now that the fragilities of the international financial system are so visible, he's been getting calls and emails from hedge fund investors every day inquiring how they can invest in Bitcoin. We've never gone through such central bank uncertainty, and none of us have lived through monetary printing of this kind of magnitude. Okay, stop right there. This is important to understand the shift. He is a billionaire. He's talking to other billionaires. Obviously, they've done something right in life outside of being born in the right family to be where they are. And they're saying, we've never, so they have never experienced this before. We've never gone through such central bank uncertainty. And none of us have lived through monetary printing of this kind of magnitude. So we are experiencing something historic in our lifetimes. And if that's the case, then we've got to ask, what advantage can we pull from this? What opportunities are there? The greatest economic shift in wealth in the history of mankind is taking place right now. Where are you going to fit in on that? Will you be a spectator? Do you even know what's going on? Or will you only realize what's happening after the fact and you read about it in a history book? That's how it is. So none of us has even believed it would ever happen. So when you've got something, wait a minute, am I screen sharing? Yeah. So why is this showing up on my, oh, there we go. Okay, so when you've got something that is so large and it continues, it doesn't go away. It gets worse and worse and worse. Everybody has to ask the question, well, what could it mean? Oh, that's why I had it paused. Well, what could it mean? What could it mean? And it's as simple as that. So in a big portfolio, a very little bet could end up being a very big thing if something at the central bank level, i.e. fiat currency, comes into a larger problem. Okay, this again goes to what investors are saying. To put at least 1% of your portfolio in crypto. 1%, that's a very little bet. But that little bet can end up being a very big thing. If something happens at the central bank level, it becomes a bigger problem. Both Powell and Novogratz stressed the impact millennials and Gen Z could have on Bitcoin and how it's viewed by the mainstream population going forward. Powell, who has predicted Bitcoin could soar to $1 million, says that aside from crypto, millennials have essentially none of the high return investment opportunities that so many boomers had throughout their lifetimes. If you are a millennial, so you're under the age of 35, and you look at your 401k and your investment opportunities for your retirement savings, and you have equity valuations at all-time highs, bond yields at all-time lows, credit yields at all-time lows, and property prices pretty much at highs, you have almost zero opportunity to have an expected positive return over the next 10 or 20 years. That's the reality here. Well, I found my quote for the day. I got to read that one more time. This has got to sink in. If you are a millennial under the age of 35 and you look at your 401k and your investment opportunities for your retirement savings, you have equity valuations at all-time highs, both bond yields at all-time lows, credit yields at all-time lows, and property prices pretty much at highs. You have almost zero opportunity to have an expected positive return over the next 10 or 20 years. That's the reality. So what do? How do you save for your future? You could save in cash. Okay, that's fine. The reality is crypto offers an opportunity. It is the thing that the baby boomers got with the equity market and the bond market and the property market. So in other words, what he's saying is Bitcoin is to millennials what the equities and bond market was for our parents, meaning Gen X, our parents back in the 70s and 80s. You know, when they was able to buy real estate and stuff cheap and all of a sudden exploded. All three, they got at record low valuations, gifted to them in their 30s. That's big right there. Gifted to them. They were just at the right place at the right time. And they got rich on the back of it. I think that millennials are going to accumulate over time in their 401ks crypto because it gives them something that has the 50 to 1 and 100 to 1 upside. The millennial generation, and particularly Gen Z, grew up understanding that digital assets have value. Mike and I had to take that leap. We didn't know this. It didn't make sense to us, right? And we were still fighting for our vinyl records, and it was all going to Apple. You know, all of this digital stuff was not a natural thing that we grew up with. Talking about the baby boomers. What these guys grew up with is knowing digital assets have value. So they don't have to take any leap of understanding at all. In fact, it's ludicrous to imagine that cash is an easier thing to have than a digital asset. In the short term, Novogratz predicts that when Bitcoin breaks 10,000 or $10,200, it will get to $14,000 much faster than people expect. He also notes that over the long term, people who look back on the current period in history will view Bitcoin as an obvious bet, given the overall shakiness of the financial system. Unfortunately, I'm 34 days a baby boomer. 34 days a baby boomer. Though I always tell my kids I identify as Gen Z, the baby boomer generation will look back on as the most selfish generation in the history of the planet. If you look at what they have taken and the debt they're leaving versus what they put in, this is generational theft on a gargantuan scale. My wife says that all the time about baby boomers. The baby boomers are running up a debt that's astronomical that my poor son and his kids are going to have to pay back one day. And they're not going to be able to pay it back. And in some ways, logic would say the only way to pay it back is to inflate. If you just look at the scale of the debt and how fast it's growing, you've got a positive first and second derivative of the growth of debt. That doesn't make you feel good if you're 20 years old or 24 years old or 16 years old. You're going to come back at these future anthropologists and be like, dude, of course they were buying something else. They were smart enough to know that the dollar's not going to be worth that much. This is a powerful article right here. I'm going to have to save this one. Okay, next up. Billionaire Bitcoin bull Peter Thiel and Coinbase are backing this little known cryptocurrency. All right, we're going to hear about a new coin. Crypto investment heavyweights are backing Reserve. A stable coin are backing Reserve, okay? A stable coin project designed to create a new universal store of value while generating potential profits for investors. Coinbase Ventures is backing the project, and Reserve executives have now confirmed that Bitcoin bull Peter Thiel and Y Combinator president Sam Altman have each purchased a claim to receive tokens in the future. The stablecoin will be backed by up to 100 on-chain and off-chain assets and utilize a dual token system, as described by crypto researcher Lark Davis. Why would a stablecoin go up in value? There's actually a two-token model. The first is RSR. That is the token I own and the one you will want to buy if you want to invest in Reserve. This token is the governance token, allowing holders to vote on proposals, and it gives rights to arbitrage within the network. RSR guarantees the collateralization rate of RSV, which is the stablecoin, and it maintains the value of RSV. So when the price of the RSV stablecoin goes above $1, then the protocol will sell new or excess RSV for either RSR or tokenized assets to then correct the price. RSR has an automated token burn mechanism, which will decrease the supply over time, meaning that the more that we see the RSV stablecoin getting used, the more tokens will be burned. Now, this is super important for the long-term price potential of the RSR token. The Reserve protocol plans to roll out in 3 phases. The first is the centralized phase, where the Reserve token is backed by a small number of collateral tokens pegged to the US dollar. The second is a decentralized phase, where RSV will be backed by a changing basket of assets, but still pegged in price to the US dollar. The third independent phase involves RSV no longer being pegged to the dollar. At that point, its goal will be to offer a stabilized alternative, not subject to fluctuations in the dollar's value. Reserve's app is live in Venezuela, and they are expanding to Argentina next. Charlie Smith, the company's head of business development of the Reserve protocol, says customers should expect more Latin American markets, the US, and possibly Lebanon after that. Reserve's RSR token, a cryptocurrency used to facilitate the stability of RSV, is currently a temporary placeholder ERC20 token. Reserve's protocol, however, is expected to launch on the Ethereum mainnet later this year, and then that ERC20 token will be replaced by a fully functional token. All right, I'm going to keep my eye on this one, RSR token. That shouldn't even be on any market cap yet, but I'll just double check if they're preparing for it. Reserve rights token. Okay, let's see. RSR is worth half a penny right now. Circulating supply will be 6.8 billion, which means this can get to 2 or 3 cents. More than that, 50 cents. Let's see. All-time high was June 26, 7 days ago. All-time low was 4 months ago, 0.001. So at 0.007 was the all-time high. It is close. Where is this being sold? Galaxy Hotbit Uniswap. So they haven't made it to Binance yet. Huobi Global. This is one of those long shot coins right now, getting it so cheap, but it's a stable coin though. So if it's a stable coin, how is it moving in price like that? I'm going to have to research this. As a stable coin, you're supposed to be 1-to-1. RSR to Bitcoin, Hotbit, Uniswap, IDEX. Yeah, I need to save this article. This might be one of those, let's say, for example, you just had $100. I mean, let's do quick dream mode. So you had $100 and you bought this coin. That's 1,833 coins. But it gets to 5 cents. No, that's not right. Let me do that again. $100 at 0.006. That gives you, come on, Brandon, I know it's early. $100. That gives you 16,666 coins. And let's say one day that's worth half a penny. I mean, yeah, 5 cents period. 5 cents. That's 833 bucks from 100. All right, let's scale that up. Let's say if I dropped 1,000. Six, 166,000, and that goes to 5 cents. Then that 1,000 to 8,000. So this just scales up. If I did 10,000, that 10,000 will grow to 80,000. I'm going to keep an eye on this one. RSR. That might be a long shot one. Okay. U.S. senators debate digital dollar as China prepares to launch virtual Yuan. Uh-oh. Now the U.S. wants to pay attention? U.S. legislators are taking a close look at the pros and cons of a digital dollar. In a hearing before the Senate Banking Committee held on Tuesday, Senator Tom Cotton from Arkansas explained why he believes the United States has to have its own virtual currency. The U.S. needs a digital dollar. The U.S. dollar has to keep earning that place in the digital payments system. It has to be better than Bitcoin. It has to be better than a digital yuan. Committee Chair Mike Crapo also acknowledged the importance of financial innovation, but cites a need for regulatory oversight. As some lawmakers push for the digital dollar amid concerns, China is aggressively working on its digital yuan. Ranking member Sherrod Brown is focused on the implementation of a virtual currency, saying he believes tech companies can't be trusted to build or maintain the technology. It's hard to think of any revolutionary product or services that have actually helped the people that tech firms say they will. The number of witnesses who were invited to the hearing vouched for a US-backed virtual currency. According to Duke University, financial inclusion professor Nikita Coutinho, America needs to be at the forefront in the future of money. Paxos CEO Charles Cascarilla and former Commodity Futures Trading Commission Chair Chris Giancarlo also think that a digital dollar will help address an outdated financial system. Says Giancarlo, Darwin said the most adaptable survive. And I think that is true when we transition to a new architecture. To adapt to it will bring benefits to the society at large. He's right. Meanwhile, the American Bankers Association has come out against the virtual dollar, saying it could transform the Federal Reserve into the nation's near monopoly provider of currency, bank accounts, and payment services. Okay, there's some quotes from me here. I'm going to keep that article. And last up, infamous crypto whale says one altcoin will outshine Bitcoin in the next global economic crisis. Really, what altcoin is that? A crypto whale known for challenging conventional crypto wisdom and placing large Bitcoin bets on Bitfinex says there is a looming derivatives crisis that Bitcoin won't provide an antidote for. Joe 007, who recently returned to Twitter after a nearly 2-month hiatus, says he'll invest in the dollar-pegged stablecoin Tether and gold bars if and when the crisis begins, at least until the worst of the liquidity crunch is over. He notes that current high-end estimates of the notional value of global derivatives are around $1 quadrillion, more than 4,000 times the current crypto market cap. Okay. That's how false narratives are created, comparing an irrelevant metric, such as notional value, to another doubtful metric, such as coin market cap, conjures illusion of inevitable appreciation out of thin air. People look at small orange dot and think, wow, such a huge growth potential. In fact, the only thing such comparison shows how small our beloved crypto puddle is compared to values and financial forces at play in the global economy. If the derivative crisis starts to fully play out, don't even think crypto will be somehow immune from it. Joe 007 also doesn't think it's possible to quantify Bitcoin's current real demand due to unprecedented circumstances. If the pricing cycle worked the same way it did last time, I'd say 50% of previous ATHs is a reasonable level for post-consolidation pre-rally phase. Interesting. 50% of the previous all-time high? But in my humble opinion, this consolidation phase was distorted due to leverage-driven echo bubble. So we're in uncharted waters. Joe is a long-term believer in Bitcoin's potential to be more than a currency and has called it a non-political, non-confiscatable, self-sovereign, extra hard money that will have a transformative impact on society over time. Bitcoin's all-time high was $20,089, according to CoinMarketCap. It was trading at about $9,265 at the time of writing. Well, what altcoin is that? Is he talking about Tether? Tether's not an altcoin. It's a stable coin. This one's a little confusing. All right, anyways. That is it for Crypto Talk for today. I hope you guys learned something new. I know it's been a week since I've done it. I'll probably be back to do it tomorrow morning before my international presentation, but I did find a gem out of this. And that gem is this RSR. So I'm going to do some research on this. It's not even on any major exchange yet, which means the moment it does hit the major exchange, it's going to jump up in value at least 50-fold or 10-fold. So I gotta check these exchanges out, check out this coin. Decentralized finance and tags. Buy, sell. It's even on eToro. All right, everybody. See you all next time. Hope you learned something new. As always, that is the point. Have a safe and enjoyable 4th of July weekend. Bitcoin Brandon out. Bye-bye.